What's good? What's good? I am back. Yours truly, the one and only Paul Pickett, host of the Paul Pickett Podcast. This is episode 104. Have a podcast the last few days because, of course, I also own Promo Palace LLC at promopalace.biz, who is the sponsor of this podcast. And I've been working on a lot of my clients' orders and, promoting their music. It's been a pretty busy month, you know what I'm saying? That's why we also got the marketing vlogs over there on my Promo Palace LLC channel on YouTube, youtube.com/Promo Palace 1, the number 1. Check it out. Like I said, this podcast is sponsored by Promo Palace LLC at promopalace.biz. It's also sponsored by New Litter Apparel at newlitter.com. If you like t-shirts, hoodies, sweatshirts with dogs and cats on them, please check us out. New Litter Apparel at newlitter.com. And for Shizzle, I got a shout out. Dizzlebrand.com. Just add ice. Dizzle on ice. Step into the future. Do you dizzle? I dizzle. I got 3.5 bottles right now. And the thing about dizzle, it's great. Like, you could just throw it on ice and it's good to go. It's not like, Paul Masson, which I drink, which you got to mix that with Coke. You know what I'm saying? If not, you're just taking little shots in it. I can tell you right now, it doesn't taste good. That's the thing. Hennessy, why they say Henny and Coke? Because Henny doesn't taste good by itself. You know what I'm saying? But Dizzle tastes good by itself. It's got that flavor, that mango mix, that orange flavor. Just throw some lemon on it. You're good to go. For shizzle. Dizzle. All right. First, I'm going to get into some NBA talk. I'm going to get into some NFL talk, and I'm going to do one topic today. Of course, Anthony Davis returned last night. Lakers beat the Nets, which the Nets don't have KD, so that don't tell me much. Sixers beat the Pelicans. Denver beat Detroit. Toronto waxed my Charlotte Hornets, who have been up and down, up and down. It's just like a roller coaster ride with them. I mean, but we're still young. Young LaMelo. Terry Rozier's only been a starter. Second or third year as a starter. Bridges is still young. PJ Washington's young. We got a lot of young pieces. Book Knight, is young. So the only veteran pieces we really got is Gordon Hayward and Miles, or not Miles Plumlee, but Mason Plumlee. Okay, Clippers beat Washington by a point. Boston waxed the Kings. And, of course, I said Lakers beat the Brooklyn Nets, which the Lakers needed to win. If Lakers lost that game, too, oh, my gosh. Houston got waxed by the Spurs. I mean, totally waxed. And I can't really see this one. I hate when these put these in the corner. You got to pull it like this. Let's see. Who won this game? Let's know. Of course, the Warriors waxed the Dallas needs to get Lucas some help, man. And Minnesota beat Portland off of Anthony Edwards. I think put up 40 points last night. All right, let me go off of my Triple Paul's Power Picks. Pull up the standings right here, and I'm gonna stay on it for a little bit. What do we got? All right. That's the thing. This Power Picks is just, it keeps changing. Number 1 on Paul's Power Picks, Phoenix Suns. Why? Most complete team in the NBA right now. Legit point guard, legit 2 guard, legit center, legit defensive player of the year candidate, and Mikal Bridges. And he plays super hard night in, night out. You just got to love it, man. You got to love players like him. Number 2, Golden State Warriors. I mean, they're still balling out. Still doing their thing. Steph is struggling and they still winning games. It's crazy. Number 3, Miami Heat, man. They done took over number 1 in the East. Miami Heat made some good moves on the offseason. PJ Tucker, Kyle Lowry. I mean, like, this is going to be exciting. Like, if Miami Heat was just in the finals 2 years ago, they legitimately could be in the finals again this year. and could win it. And could win it. And you know what? I would like to see Miami Heat actually win it and win it this year. You know why? Because I want to see Jimmy Butler get a championship. Jimmy Butler deserves a championship before he retires. I mean, nobody wants to win as much as Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler literally goes to he leaves Chicago. Literally is a playoff team when he leaves. He goes to Minnesota. They literally can't even make the playoffs, and they literally make the playoffs as soon as he comes. As soon as he leaves the next year, they literally back into not making the playoffs. He goes to the Sixers for a year and literally, has him contending. And they definitely made a mistake by paying Tobias Harris over Jimmy Butler. The Sixers they regret that. That's where they messed up. They should have paid Jimmy Butler. They should have gave him a ton of money, man. And if they had him right now, would it be? I mean, they could have been traded Ben Simmons off for one of those top 40 players that Daryl Morey just recently named. But Jimmy Butler, I do want to see. So number 4, Chicago Bulls, and number 5, I'm going with the Memphis Grizzlies. They done made it. Memphis Grizzlies done made it into Paul's power picks for the first time this year. Tell you what, NBA deadline is coming up February 10th. I know there's got to be at least 1 or 2 big moves made. I mean, if there's no big moves made, I'm going to be really shocked. It's going to be really shocking. I mean, because a couple teams got to make some moves. Nets got to figure out what they're going to do. Kevin Durant's hurt. Kyrie Irving's playing part-time. They got to figure something out. Milwaukee Bucks is still quietly under the radar at number 4. They could easily come in and win it again back-to-back. Cleveland, I wonder if Cleveland Cavaliers should make a move. Maybe trade Louis Marketing or Kevin Love. I don't know. They're number 5 right now in the East. And my Hornets done moved up to 7, even though we just got beat by the Raptors. Boston's got to make a move if they're trying to actually even make the playoffs or the play-in this year. Washington might as well move on for Bradley Beal. I think Atlanta's still going to make a move. I mean, they're 12th right now, man. Atlanta's literally going to be a high lottery pick. Well, not super high, but they're going to be getting in the lottery next year if they don't make a move. I'm thinking the Jazz need to make a move. They're just still they're number 4 right now, man. Memphis done moved up past them. Golden State, Phoenix. If Dallas could just get one player for Luka, they're definitely passing the Jazz. Denver is probably better than the Jazz come playoff time because of Jokic. T-Wolves, I mean, they're actually number 7 over the Lakers right now. They need to make a move. They need to trade for another piece. Lakers need to make a move. What are the Clippers going to do? Kawhi coming back. Paul George supposed to come back. Portland needs to make a move. I mean, you got Anthony Simons is averaging 25 and 7 in the last 10 games. They could literally trade Damian Lillard right now while he's got value and get a boatload for him and still have Anthony Simons, CJ McCollum, and whatever they get back for Damian Lillard. Sacramento Kings, I mean, what are they waiting for? Houston Rockets on rebuild. Oklahoma City, they got all those picks, which when you break down all their picks, man, they're really not that great of picks. Memphis is good to go. Memphis just needs to Memphis can try to win it this year. They're number 3 in the. That's the thing, man. Ja Morant literally already got these dudes number 3 in the East. I mean the West. My bad. Number 3 in the West already. Over Utah, over Dallas, over Denver, over Timberwolves. The Timberwolves got freaking Karl Anthony Towns, D'Angelo Russell, and damn Anthony Edwards, and Ja Morant has got the boys over there balling. I like Memphis' chances. Memphis is that sleeper team. They can make it to the Western Conference Finals this year. They could. But Yeah, apparently Jeremy Grant wanted to get Lakers wanted Jeremy Grant, but he didn't want to play backup to LeBron and AD. I don't know where he thinks he's gonna go to a winning situation and be second or third option. That ain't happening. Jeremy Grant is like he's your fourth option at best on a championship team, man. I'm sorry, Jeremy Grant is your fourth option at best on a championship team. You know, stop it, Jeremy Grant. Like these dudes be overvaluing themselves, man. That's the thing. The NBA is known for having, the worst contracts in the world. I mean, like they paying dudes crazy money and they don't do much of nothing. They don't do much of nothing. But yeah, this crazy. We got. I mean, we got what? 10, about 2 more weeks left for the trade deadline, and a lot of these trades do happen like the last few days. Everybody just starts moving. They start moving these contracts that they know they're not going to extend and trade them off, and then people they either buy them out or cut them, or waive them. But yeah, some teams need to make some moves, man. If they're trying to, Miami's good to go. Miami's number one. Think about this. Miami's number one in the East, and they've had injuries all year long, and the health and safety protocols have players in and out all year long. Man, Jimmy Butler out, Bam out. Victor Oladipo ain't even played. Morris is out. Markieff Morris is out. So they had dudes in and out, man. When they get all their players back, like it's crazy. Like if they actually get Victor Oladipo, Morris back come playoff time, still got PJ Tucker and Hero and Duncan, and they got Max Strauss is I think that's his name. Max Strauss is actually balling out too. But he's actually balling out better than Duncan Robinson. They got. I mean, they got a squad, yo. They got a squad over there. Miami Heat can win it all. I think the way it looks right now, it looks like it's gonna be Miami Heat and the Milwaukee Bucks in the Eastern Conference Finals. That's who I got. Milwaukee and Bucks versus Miami Heat in the Eastern Conference Finals. And the Western Conference Finals, it looks like it's either going to be Phoenix, Golden State, and Grizz. Any one of those three teams is going to be in the Western Conference Finals. I don't give Jazz no chance of making the Western Conference Finals. Dallas no chance. Denver no chance. Timberwolves no chance. Lakers no chance. Yeah, only Grizzlies. And what's crazy? I feel like the Grizzlies is going to upset somebody, man. They're going to upset somebody. Watch out. Watch out for like Grizzlies versus Phoenix Suns in the Western Conference Finals. That would be crazy. Ja Morant versus Chris Paul, Western Conference Finals. Him and them boys over there. They're like pit bulls, man. The dogs, man, over there. Chicago, I mean, it's a good story, good year, but they're not making no Western Conference Finals. I mean, Eastern Conference Finals. In Brooklyn, they're not making no Eastern Conference Finals with Kyrie playing part-time. Now, Kyrie decides to get vaccinated and play full-time by the time playoff time comes. But if that's the thing, if Kyrie goes into playoffs playing part-time, that's not going to be good for the NBA. It's going to be a very bad thing. The NBA needs to step in, come playoff time, and we can't allow this to happen. We just can't. Where else can you work part-time and make millions of dollars? Nobody, man, I never heard of such a thing, but Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving and the Nets is the only place that you can work part-time and make millions of dollars. Everybody else making millions of dollars working full-time, I can tell you that. So that's crazy. All right, NFL. All right, well, as you see now, we got the Bengals versus Kansas City in the AFC and 49ers versus the Rams. Let me talk about some of these losses that happened. I think we do. Tampa Bay was vulnerable. Everybody knew they really the big Green Bay. Green Bay is really the only one that's like what? It's like super shocking. Everybody knows that that in the divisional playoff, like I'm not surprised the Bengals beat the Titans. because Joe Burrow is a far better quarterback than Ryan Tannehill. And Titans just got back Derrick Henry. They just got him back. The Packers 49ers is really like the shocking one, And now it's the turmoil of what is Aaron Rodgers going to do? Is he leaving? Rams beat Buccaneers. I'm not really shocked at that because the Buccaneers, Chris Godwin out. Then you got Antonio Brown doing what he did. And he's so petty sitting there trying to, go in on whatchamacallit about that the Bucks about their loss. He's so petty, man. I mean, he's so petty for going in about that loss. And the fact that he did that, he might not be playing no one next year. The Bills Chiefs, man. You talking about the great, probably everybody's saying it's like the greatest quarterback game ever they've seen in the playoffs. Like Josh Allen, there's nothing else. Nothing more Josh Allen could have did, man. Josh Allen did all he could do, man. Josh Allen played. You couldn't play any better of a game than Josh Allen played. His quarterback rating was actually better than Patrick Mahomes. But Patrick Mahomes is that he's that dude, man. I posted it on Facebook, man. Patrick Mahomes has got to be the greatest quarterback I've ever seen. In the first 5 years, if I'm not, I could be wrong, but first 5 years, he's literally been to 2 Super Bowls and like 3 or 4 AFC championships. I want to say three AFC championships, 2 Super Bowls at least in the first 5 years. Probably literally going to go to another Super Bowl. And that's if the Bengals actually win, though, I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked that Joe Burrow and them win. It'd be an amazing story. It'd be crazy. I wouldn't be shocked at all, but it looks like the Chiefs are going to another Super Bowl. 3 Super Bowls and 4 AFC championship games. No, yeah, it's 4 AFC championship games and 2 Super Bowls right now in the first 5 years. I mean, literally, if he goes to 3 in the first 5 years and 4 AFC, them paying that $10 million, 10 years, $500 million contract, he's already earned it. He's already earned it. You pay that guy 10 years, $500 million just because of what he did in his first 5 years. And you already know the next 5 years they're going to be probably in the AFC Championship at least 2 or 3 of those years, if not 4 or 5. So, yeah, he's already earned his money, man. He's already earned his money. He's literally going to go down as the greatest Kansas City Chief ever. Ever. Patrick Mahomes is going down as the greatest Kansas City Chief ever. Forever, ever? Forever, ever. The greatest ever. And Travis Kelce's probably going to go down as the second greatest Kansas City Chief ever. And Tyreek Hill's probably going to go down as the third ever. And number 4 is probably Tony Gonzalez. Probably Tony Gonzalez, who never won a Super Bowl for Kansas City. But these guys, yeah. These guys are probably going to go down as the 3 greatest Kansas City Chiefs ever. Patrick Mahomes, number 1. Kelce, number 2. And when it's all said and done, Travis Kelce is probably going to be the greatest tight end ever over Gronkowski, who's the greatest right now. Rob Gronkowski is clearly the greatest tight end ever. You know. And that's the thing. Like, back in the days, tight ends used to just block. It wasn't until really Shannon Sharp really revolutionized the game, and tight ends actually became a wide receiver type like weapon. And then they had to do 2 jobs. They had to be a wide receiver and they had to block. And some of them are exceptional at both. Gronkowski is exceptional at both. Tony Gonzalez wasn't a great blocker. Shannon Sharp, I don't know if he was the greatest blocker. But Rob Gronkowski, that's why he's the greatest tight end ever, because he's the greatest He's a great blocker, and he's the greatest receiver tight end. And Travis Kelce looked like, I don't know how really great of a blocker is. He probably is a pretty good blocker. Travis Kelce plays super hard. He's probably a great blocker. But he's going to go down as the greatest ever eventually when it's all said and done. Travis Kelce's probably got a good 2 or 3 more years doing what he's doing. And nowadays with the way people, the nutrition and, technology and science, man, I mean, who knows? It could be longer. It could be longer. But, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if the Bengals win. Whoever wins that, it's gonna be amazing either way. Rams and 49ers, it's like really, I don't know if either one of them, like, I'm thinking whoever wins the AFC comes out the AFC wins it. Like if Joe Burrow goes to the Super Bowl, there's no way I think Joe Burrow's losing the Super Bowl. And if Joe Burrow wins the Super Bowl, like his first year is a full year as a starter, second year, this league is really is going to be making some amazing changes. I mean, because dudes are literally, that's the thing now. Like, these young cats are expected to come in and win right away on these rookie contracts. And that's the thing. That's why, because once you start having to pay, once they show that they're super great, you got to pay them a shit ton of money. And then it's pretty much hard to build around them. So they come in great out the gate on them rookie contracts. That's why the Cowboys are probably never going to win with Dak. Because now they have to pay him $40 million. And Dak is definitely not worth that money to get bounced out in the first round. You're not worth $40 million when you get bounced out in the first round. And you won the division and you get bounced out by a wild card. You're not worth that money. I'm sorry. But Joe Burrow is worth all the money that Dak Prescott's getting paid. And a lot of people was putting Justin Herbert at like top 5, man. I don't know, man. I think we need to pump the brakes on that. Joe Burrow has Jamar Chase, who he played with. But let's not forget, Jamar Chase is a rookie. He's a rookie. So, yeah, there's that. Yeah, it's going to be great. It's going to be great. If the Bengals win, I would actually like to see the Bengals come out and win. I seen the Bengals go to the Super Bowl when I was younger with Boomer Esiason. It'd be nice for the Bengals to actually win, to get a small market team to come in. Because this is the thing. This is the only way small market teams in any sports win. You got to draft. I mean, even Kansas City Chiefs, that's a small market team, man. They don't draft Patrick Mahomes, boy. What are we talking about? Bengals don't draft Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow. What are we talking about, Like the 49ers had to trade for Jimmy Garoppolo. The 49ers are not really a big market team. Like a lot of quarterbacks are not running. They're not running to go to. You haven't seen the 49ers ever sign a big free agent quarterback. They signed Steve Young when he was a backup, but he didn't start till later. They had future vision for him. Like even the Rams, they traded for Matthew Stafford. But Rams are a big market team. But it's tough. I mean, it's tough. I think every NFL team has to draft their quarterback. NBA, you pretty much gotta draft. You want to draft your top two, three guys. You need to draft your top 2 or 3 guys in the NBA. With the NFL, you always gotta usually draft your quarterback. The Seahawks, Russell Wilson, they drafted him. Packers, they drafted Aaron Rodgers. That's the thing. Tannehill was traded to the Titans. They need to draft their quarterback to really, really win. And it's so hot. They're so good because of Derrick Henry, and Ryan Tannehill is he's a little above average. So it's going to be hard for them to draft their quarterback. The Bills drafted Josh Allen, their quarterback for the future. And I feel sorry for Josh Allen, man. Now he's got to compete with not just Patrick Mahomes, you're gonna have to compete with Joe Burrow, and then you got coming up. I'm pretty sure next year Justin Herbert's gonna be balling out like he did, and then you got there's a lot of good dudes you got to compete with. Lamar Jackson, I mean, he's still going to probably get better. There's a lot of good young dudes, man. Kyler Murray, literally second division this year. Like these guys are coming out a lot better, a lot sooner. And we still got to see what Justin Fields and some of these other cats are going to be. Even though I think that they coming out so good, so early. I think these NFL teams are right to just say, yo, these cats, they ain't got it. Move on from them after like 2 years. When you see what Patrick Mahomes is doing, Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, even Mac Jones. Literally like almost winning the division this year and doing what he did for the Patriots. Like even Mac Jones has come in like NFL. He don't look like he's gonna be a great quarterback. He's definitely NFL ready to run the team. Did you see how Mac Jones walked in on his draft day? How he was walking? That cat had more confidence than any player I've ever seen walking at a draft day. And he don't look tough at all, but he's confident, Now you better be coming from Alabama. So, yeah, this is going to be interesting. Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow. I guess we don't got to do my Paul's power picks. To be honest with you, like 49ers, it wouldn't have made my power picks at all. Even last week in the divisional round, like the divisional matchups, they wouldn't have made it at all. It would have been like Chiefs, Chiefs, Bills, Packers, probably like Bengals and Rams or Buccaneers or something like that. The 49ers wouldn't even made my Paul's power picks. They would have made it all year long. But it's crazy. Defense, this is the thing. Defense, man. In every sport, man, you got a great defense, or a dominant defense. You got a great chance to go far, man. As long as you just got a decent quarterback. As long as you got a decent quarterback in the NFL, you got a great defense or dominant defense, you could go all the way to the Super Bowl and win. We've seen it plenty of times. Chicago Bears, 85 Bears. Dominant defense, man. And great running back with Walter Payton, but the quarterback, I mean, Jim McMahon would. Cisco and Evers gives Jim McMahon 2 thumbs down. I mean, Trent Dilfer, the Baltimore Ravens, 2 thumbs down. His dominant defense. Peyton Manning's last year with the Broncos, 2 thumbs down, man. He wasn't doing squat. It was the defense. Ravens with Joe Flacco, their second Super Bowl. Joe Flacco ain't done nothing since. He just bought out one little run in the Super Bowl. Without that defense, that don't even happen. Eli beating his 2. The defense, man. The dude could barely sniff the playoffs any other years. Brad Johnson for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The defense. And, like that's the thing. They had a defense and they had receivers and running backs. Like you got a decent game managing quarterback, and everything else is good to go. You can win a Super Bowl, man. You can. You really can. But building a dominant defense, man, that means you got to draft perfect. You got to trade all the perfect pieces of defense. It's not an easy peasy thing. The Bears had Richard Dent, Steve Mongo McMichael, Mike Singletary. They had and Ron Rivera. They had 4 crazy dominant defensive dudes at once. So yeah, man, it's gonna be interesting. Be honest with you, I like to see I like to see the Rams win. I like to see the Rams win on the Matt Stafford. I like to see Matt Stafford go to the Super Bowl. At least get there. Even if Matt Stafford versus Joe Burrow is probably what I want to see. Cincinnati versus the Rams. I want new blood. 49ers been there a bunch of times. They were there recently, with Jimmy G, and recently before that with Kaepernick. And then they were there with Steve Young, Joe Montana a ton of times. 49ers have always been a pretty solid franchise since I've been alive. They've had some down years, but they've always seemed to bounce back, man. And they have to, because when I was a kid, 49ers was it. Joe Montana and Jerry Rice was it. Yeah, Bears won in 85, but that's it. The 49ers was winning like a crazy amount of times, man. They beat the Broncos, I think. They beat the Bengals. I mean, they was beating a lot of teams back then, man. And Joe Montana, it was like, it was art. It was an art form when he would just throw that ball. He would just perfect spiral in the air, man. And it would just like land perfectly in Jerry Rice's fingertips, like every freaking time, man. It was just such an art form, man. What Joe Montana and Jerry Rice would do, man. It was just perfect, man. It was like the Pablo Picassos of, and like the Pablo Picasso and like Da Vinci of freaking the NFL, man. It was just the art form, man. It was just perfect, man. And you used to like every time, man. It was like, so the 49ers definitely have to be a franchise that has to stay, contending, man. You can't be down so long. Just like the Patriots. After you win so much like that, see, the Bears only had 85. That's why Chicago Bears really, they've been bums ever since. Chicago Bears have never had a good quarterback since I've been alive. Detroit Lions have been bums ever since I've been alive. Somebody tried to talk about they had a good year one year when they had Megatron and Stafford. They wasn't a legit contender. The Detroit Lions have never had a team that was a legit contender in my entire life. Ever in my entire life. Never, ever in my entire life have they had a legit contender. They've been terrible, forever. And now even the Buccaneers, they won that one Super Bowl with Brad Johnson. Now Brady brings them back wins the Super Bowl again. They were in the playoffs last year. As Brady says, next year they'll be contending again next year. And when Brady leaves, they can't just plummet. They can't just fall to the face of the earth because the fan base ain't going to accept it. And the Buccaneers are one of the youngest NFL teams ever, along with the Panthers. And they already got 2 Super Bowls under their belt, and some franchises don't got none. I've never seen the Bengals win in my lifetime. The Bills. Let's see. Let's go through this. Let's see what all teams I've never seen win in my lifetime. I've never seen the Dolphins win in my life. Just born when they won. The Jets I've never seen win in my lifetime. I've seen the Steelers win. Never seen the Browns win. I've never seen the Titans win. The Texans, which they're a real young team. Jacksonville's a young team. They came around the time the Panthers came out. I think the same exact time. I've never seen them win. I've never seen the Raiders win in my lifetime. The Chargers. I've seen the Broncos win. I've seen the Cowboys win. I've seen the Eagles win. I've seen Washington win. I've seen the Giants win. Every one of those teams have won Super Bowls in my lifetime. In the NFC least or the East. The Giants, the Washington football team, but they won as the Redskins. Philadelphia Eagles and the Dallas Cowboys all won in my lifetime. Green Bay's won in my lifetime. Vikings never won. The Bears have won half of those teams in that division. I've seen the Buccaneers, the Saints win 2 of those teams in that division. I've seen the 49ers and Seattle Seahawks win. So Arizona and Rams have never won in my lifetime. Arizona went to the Super Bowl with Kurt Warner, but that was it. So Rams could win. That would be no. Actually, I've seen the Rams win in my lifetime, but they were not Los Angeles Rams. They were the St. Louis Rams with Kurt Warner, the so-called greatest show on turf. So yeah, man. Like literally, the Buccaneers have won 2 Super Bowls, and they're the only team in that division that's won 2 Super Bowls in my lifetime. Saints have won 1. Panthers have went to 2, but they lost them both. Falcons went to 1, they lost them. They all went to ones in my lifetime, and all fairly recently. The Panthers and Falcons and the Buccaneers. So yeah, but that's just how it is, man. You dominant defense and a running game to go along with it, and a decent quarterback, or you better be drafted a great quarterback, man. Because you're not really going to trade for him. Even when Joe Montana went to the Chiefs, I mean, they went to the Super Bowl, but they didn't win. You know, so it is what it is. All right, so I got one topic for today, and you know what? I'm not even gonna get into the topic. I'm gonna save the topic because I think I talked enough about NFL and NBA today. We're gonna save the topic for tomorrow, and we're gonna do that topic tomorrow. Once again, I want to thank you all for tuning in. Paul Pickett Podcast, Triple P, aka the Common Sense Podcast, your source for music, sports, politics, sport events, or more. Don't forget, this podcast is sponsored by Promo Palace LLC at promopalace.biz. If you need online marketing promotion for your music, your product, your brand, or your service, please check out promopalace.biz. Also, if you're a dog lover or cat lover, you like t-shirts, hoodies, and sweatshirts with dogs and cats on them, please check out New Litter Apparel at newlitter.com. We also got apparel for your dogs to wear, like dog bandanas, and we got dog tags as well. And last but not least, for Shizzle, I got to shout out DizzleBrand.com. Dizzle Brand, step into the future. Do you Dizzle? Just add ice. DizzleBrand.com, Dizzle and Ice. Check them out. Follow them on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, and more. You got a dozen recipes on there that you can mix your Dizzle with, but like I said before, it's perfect just on ice. Once again, I want to thank y'all for tuning in. Peace, and I'm out.